Rugby teams from all across the country came out to play for the first time ever in the Huntsman World Senior Games, despite pouring rain.
8 teams representing New England, California, Florida, all over. So Atlanta, all that. And it's been a really special event. Yesterday was fantastic weather and everything. Today was totally different.
Most rugby players stop playing the sport by age 37, but for those who've got the bug, it's become almost an addiction, even in the rain.
Rain, sleet, snow, doesn't matter. We'll go.
Mud.
We love mud.
Or
So
turf.
we were on turf today. We prefer to be dirty as the day is long with the mud, but turf is okay.
Rich McCormick, who played rugby in the Marines, continues his passion for the game.
This is the Orbs. It's from Atlanta, and then we have another team out here I normally play with, actually, which is Old Breed. It's a Marine team, former Marines that played on the same team together. The team we're about to play, Old Breed, is one of my teams. It's actually the team I usually play for. And so this is how incestuous rugby can be at times.
Despite what it might look like from the outside, this sport is very well organized with an international rugby board, rules, and even a union.
Rugby is the third most popular sport outside the United States, after cricket, after soccer. So there's a lot of teams that would love to just come out and play, especially in this kind of an event.
Under the rules, the rugby ball can only be passed laterally or backwards. And while it's similar to football, it's also very different.
We don't have a break in between every play. You instantly recycle the ball. As soon as you go to tackle, you're supposed to let go of the ball, let go of the tackler, and you reset wherever the two people meet over the ball. Unlike football, where every single play you sub in players. In most rugby games, except for old boys, of course, you don't sub in hardly any more than you would in a soccer game. So it's much more strategic. You can't bring in 40 players to play 1 minute per down. It's not like football at all. You have to continuously play. You have to have much better endurance, which takes out. We do have some big guys, but typically you have to play positions where you don't run constantly.
While rugby is a physical contact sport, the law of tackling is much different than football.
We don't lead with our shoulders. In fact, the law requires us to attempt to wrap, which means it's a softer wrap, but it's a more focused wrap as well on a tackle.
And while it may look and sound like a rough game, injuries are less than in football.
Frankly, I think you receive more injuries in football, catastrophic injuries where you have hard pads going into soft tissues, where you have your brain bouncing around inside of your helmet because you go helmet to helmet all the time because they don't tackle right. This sport is the next generation. I think it's an exciting sport. People love it.
Rugby is a game of inertia, but more than that, it's about camaraderie.
Togetherness. It's the ethos of rugby. It's around discipline and respect and integrity, passion and solidarity. And it doesn't matter where you play around the world, if you wear something that has a rugby emblem on it, almost guaranteed that somebody's going to come up and ask you, hey, you play rugby?
You'll see there's a special camaraderie between the teammates that doesn't exist in other sports, even between each other. Most of us know each other from other teams, and you can go out there, you can smash into people, you can even have a bad play where you hurt somebody, and afterwards you're going to go have a beer, you're going to make up because that's rugby. It's a gentleman's sport. We believe in being rough out there, but coming back and we're all buddies on the outside.
I love the sport. I love the camaraderie, the hanging out with the fellas from all over the country. I've met guys from Boston, from Connecticut, from California, and all of our boys from Las Vegas coming back into town to play with us. It's been fantastic. It's a fabulous event.
I fell in love with it 29 years ago when I started playing, and I have not stopped playing since then.
Yep.
It is like Scott said, just the camaraderie and the brotherhood that you get from the game. You go out onto the pitch, you try to hit each other for 80 minutes. Afterwards, you have the social aspect of the game is phenomenal.
McCormick, who is also running for a U.S. Congress seat in Georgia, said, like politics, rugby is a team sport.
When you play rugby, it is a team sport. It is about accomplishing something. It's not an individual effort at all. It is something where you go out there, you fight, and then you leave it behind you, and then you mend again. I think that's applicable to politics in many ways. I think there's a daringness that you want in people who lead. I think this is I used to be a Marine Corps helicopter pilot. I play rugby. I'm an ER doc. I enjoy the the passionate things in life, the things that give us that adrenaline, the things that keep you engaged, where you have to continually think and you just gotta continually improve and challenge yourself to be better. I think rugby epitomizes that. It really is a thinking man's game, believe it or not. There's a lot to rugby.
Organizers of these games hope to expand the sport in the coming years as they see its potential growth.
With the interest that we're already getting from this and these guys now talking to all their network of teams and all that, we're already getting interest for next year. So it's going to grow probably, I would say, up to 12, maybe 16 teams.
There's two things I think needs to happen. I think that you need to double the number of teams in the men's side, and I think you need to look at creating a women's bracket as well.
Most people don't realize the first gold medal that was won in rugby was won by the United States a long, long time ago. Obviously, it's not a main sport in the United States until it becomes a money sport. We do have professional rugby now. I think that will help with the evolution of the sport. There are some great athletes here in America.